Everybody's heard about the Aztecs. Everybody's heard about the Maya. But before the Aztecs and before the Maya, there were a culture who are referred to as the Olmecs.
A machine is now reading a message that has been locked in stone for over 3,000 years, and the translation is making scientists extremely nervous. The Olmecs, America's most ancient civilization, left behind a complex code that no human has ever been able to break. But a new quantum AI just did. The message it's revealing doesn't just rewrite our history, it seems to describe a visitor from another world and a technology that looks suspiciously like genetic engineering. What happens when a machine translates a language that may not be from Earth, and what blueprint did it find? The secret that nobody's talking about. You're not gonna believe what I'm about to tell you. This stuff hasn't hit the news yet, but trust me, behind the scenes, the people in the know are losing their minds. According to my sources deep inside the archaeology world, something absolutely wild is going down. Here's the deal. A super-secret research team at a big-shot university in Veracruz, Mexico, has been working on the down low with a crazy new kind of quantum AI. This isn't your normal computer program. Think of it as a hybrid brain, one that mixes pattern-finding computer tricks with a giant library of every ancient American symbol ever discovered. They fed this thing thousands of pictures of Olmec carvings, temple layouts, and pottery designs. For years, nobody could make heads or tails of the Olmec symbols. People thought they were just pretty pictures. But this new AI wasn't trying to read it like a book. Instead, it started finding hidden links. It connected the dots between strange symbol groups and things like the movement of the stars, the changing of the seasons, and even the religious beliefs of later tribes like the Maya and the Aztecs. And what it found is shaking the world of history to its core. Truth be told, these so-called pretty pictures are anything but simple decorations. They're a complex language that has been silent for over 3,000 years. But the machine didn't just find a dictionary, it found a message that some people wish had stayed buried forever. So what happens when a machine starts reading a language that's not from here? You get something that messes with your head. Let me show you a few things that have the official experts totally stumped. Get this, among all the glyphs the AI has been crunching, one pattern keeps popping up that has made everyone's jaw drop. It's a spiral shape that looks almost exactly like a double helix. You know, the shape of our DNA. Now, of course, the history books say the Olmecs couldn't have known about DNA 3,000 years ago, but the AI doesn't care about history books. It just sees patterns. And here's the kicker. The AI mapped where this DNA symbol appears. It's almost always carved next to symbols for family, growth, and farming. It looks like they were tracking the family tree of their crops, or maybe even people, across generations. One researcher who begged me not to use his name said, "We thought it was just a computer glitch at first, but the pattern is undeniable. It's like they were running their own genetic experiments." But that's not even the craziest part. There's another symbol, a stepped pyramid inside a circle. The AI ran a heat map on this one and found it almost always shows up near the old quarries, where the Olmecs got the giant stones for their famous giant head statues. Specifically, it appears near places with weird thermal properties like natural hot springs or volcanic zones. It suggests they knew about some kind of thermal engineering, using heat to help them cut and move those massive stones. Think about that. We're not talking about myths or gods here. The AI is showing us what looks like an ancient blueprint for genetic modification and advanced engineering. And it found one more symbol, a symbol that looks eerily like a gateway or a portal, and the AI says it's a map to a place we were never meant to find. Okay, this is where the story goes from, "Whoa, that's interesting," to "Holy smokes, this changes everything." Of all the patterns the AI spit out, one symbol has everyone spooked. Researchers are calling it the gate symbol. It's a wild-looking shape framed by steps and what looks like rays of sunlight. But this isn't just art. The AI flagged this symbol as being almost always next to what looks like map directions. We're talking about precise markers like ancient GPS coordinates. One archaeologist I talked to said, "This isn't decoration. The math says this thing is literally pointing to a specific spot on Earth." So where does it point? The team fed the coordinates into their map systems. The computer highlighted a remote jungle-covered ridge in the Mexican state of Tabasco, about 37 kilometers east of the famous Olmec city of La Venta. This place wasn't on any archaeological map. It was a total ghost. They immediately sent a plane over with a special kind of laser scanner called LiDAR that can see through the trees. And what they found, well, it's unbelievable. Under the jungle canopy, there are clear geometric shapes, straight lines, huge platforms, and a series of pits that are perfectly aligned with the sun on the longest and shortest days of the year. The same alignment that was carved right next to the gate symbol. A researcher who saw the LiDAR scans told me the odds of this being a coincidence are zero. The symbol on the rock is a perfect match for the layout on the ground. But here's where the "not from here" part really kicks in. The AI claims the astronomical alignments at this hidden site don't just match our sun and moon. It found a secondary pattern, a much fainter one, that maps to a completely different star system, a binary star system called Cygnus X1, a place famous for having the first ever suspected black hole. What in the world were the Olmecs doing with a map pointing to a black hole hundreds of light years away? Why they ordered a total shutdown. As you can imagine, once the word star map started getting thrown around, all hell broke loose behind the scenes. This is where the story gets really dark. Multiple sources confirmed that a top official from a major lab in Mexico City sent a formal order to the Veracruz team: stop everything. A complete pause on all publications and all research. The official memo, which was leaked to me, said the implications are too significant to rush this process. But what does that really mean? Why slam on the brakes right when they're on the verge of the biggest discovery in human history? The real reason is being whispered about on secret chat forums used by these top-level academics. 3 different sources with access told me the AI found something way more practical than star maps. The glyphs seem to contain a ton of non-mythological data. We're talking about precise numbers, directions, and what they're calling resource markers. One forum member, whose identity I have to protect, wrote, "These aren't religious texts, they're systematic records of something else entirely. It looks more like a planetary survey." Think about that. What if the Olmec code is a massive database of Earth's resources? The AI appears to be linking certain symbols to real-world geographical features. We're talking about maps to underground water sources, rare mineral deposits, and other strategic resources that are still incredibly valuable today. One researcher wrote in a leaked email, "We aren't just translating ancient myths, we might be unlocking a comprehensive resource map of a continent that still exists right under our feet." And if this technology, this knowledge didn't come from the Olmecs, who was it for? Who was making a map of our planet's most valuable assets 3,000 years ago? Suddenly, a publication pause makes a lot more sense. Because this discovery isn't just about rewriting history books anymore, it's about who gets to control the future. Not just any map, but one that is very, very old and drawn with strange symbols that no one has ever been able to read. Now imagine you have a new friend, a super smart computer that can learn and think almost like a person. This thinking computer, called an AI, is getting very close to figuring out what the map says. Everyone is excited. They think the map might lead to other worlds or show us plans from people who lived long, long ago. But underneath all this happy excitement, there is a giant, messy problem that is starting to make people worried. The problem is a simple question, but the answer is very hard. If the AI figures out the secret, who gets to own it? This is a really big deal. You see, this amazing AI was not just built by smart teachers at a school, it was a team project. The school team worked with a big private company. This company owns the secret computer programs that let the AI learn so fast. I talked to a person who knows all about laws, and she said something that really makes you think. She said, "We have secrets that are thousands of years old, and we are using brand new technology from a big company to unlock them. Our laws are very old. They were made for a world without this kind of computer. Our rules have no idea how to handle a problem like this. It's like trying to use the rules of checkers to play a new video game that no one has ever seen before. The old rules just do not work, and nobody can agree on what the new rules should be. And this is not a small fight over a small prize. The things we could learn from the secret code could be worth more money than anyone can count. Think about what the symbols might be hiding. They could be hiding the secrets to growing food in places where it never rains. If we knew how to do that, we could help solve hunger all over the world. No child would have to go to bed hungry because the fields were too dry for plants to grow. The secret could be ancient instructions for growing tons of corn, beans, and potatoes, even in a desert. This knowledge would be a gift to the entire world, helping millions of people have enough food to eat. Or what if the code held old secrets for keeping crops safe? Today, farmers sometimes have to use strong chemicals to keep bugs from eating all the food they grow. What if the symbols told us about a special mixture of leaves and flowers that bugs do not like? We could make a natural spray that would protect our food without using any harsh chemicals. Our fruits and vegetables would be healthier for us to eat. It would also be better for the earth. Or what if the map does not just point to stars in the sky? What if it also points to secret places deep under the ground? It could show us where to find huge rivers of clean, fresh water that nobody knew existed. For towns and cities and dry places, finding a new source of water would be the most wonderful discovery possible. It could change their lives forever. You can be sure that big companies are already thinking about this. They are not just thinking about helping the world, they are thinking about making money. Lots and lots of money. I have heard that several very large farming companies and computer companies have already made secret phone calls. They are trying to be the first ones to get a copy of the information from the AI. They want to own the secrets for themselves. One of the people who works on the AI project told me, "There is a huge chance to make money here. This code might hold knowledge that could change the world, and it could also make someone rich beyond their wildest dreams." Think about it. If you were the only one who knew how to grow food in the desert, other people would pay you a lot of money for that secret. The person or company that owns this knowledge would become powerful and incredibly rich. But this big puzzle is not just about money and helping people. It is also about respect. Many of these strange symbols and drawings are found in very special places. They are carved on the walls of old temples and painted on rocks in holy areas in Mexico. They could be about special songs, prayers, and religious traditions. This knowledge belongs to the people whose ancestors, their great-great-great-grandparents, created the symbols a long time ago. These are the first people who lived on that land, and their families still live there today. An expert who works to protect the rights of these people told me something very important. She said, "This is not just information for a computer to read. These symbols are the special history of living people. They are part of their spirit and their story. Those people must be the ones who get to decide what happens to it." Imagine if someone found your grandmother's secret diary. You would not want them to sell it to the whole world. You would feel that it belongs to your family. It is a private and special thing. For these communities, the symbols are like a diary for their entire people, holding their most important memories and beliefs. So, we are in a place nobody has ever been before. We have a mix of things that have never been mixed together. We have a super smart computer that is learning more every second. We have ancient secrets that could save the world. We have the rights of the first people who want to protect their family history. And we have big, greedy companies that want to own everything and make billions of dollars. All of these things are crashing into one another, creating a giant, confusing mess that our world does not know how to clean up.